This is what I'm talking about, man. These are the Sixers hoops we have been waiting for ever since they started this tank. Just competitive, interesting games that also end up with them losing, adding to that tank. Welcome on into NZ for 3, where no matter how bad the Sixers are, we talk about them because we are sick in the head. And if you are a Sixers psychopath, I recommend you hit that like and subscribe button. But let's talk about what happened, man. We just saw the Sixers play a prime example of what we want them to do for the rest of the season. That is to make these games entertaining, but not play too good to where they start winning games and hurt their draft lottery odds. The Sixers were keeping up with the Timberwolves in this game up until the fourth quarter or so, where Naz Reid and Dante DiVincenzo went on fire and made like 3 threes in a row to begin the fourth quarter, blew the Sixers out of proportion, and they could not come back. The Timberwolves kept running after that, and the Sixers could not catch up with them, and that is what I like to see. I like to see these other teams actually start taking the Sixers seriously, and we had another game where the Sixers got carried by Quentin Grimes, who turned into Michael Jordan once again. I gotta admit, man, this might be a hot take, but Quentin Grimes is officially a better basketball player than Paul George in the year 2025. I declare Quentin Grimes as better and more valuable to the Sixers than Paul George. If you've been watching this game or all these other games where Quentin Grimes has played as a Sixer, you might think the same too, because when we traded for him, we did not expect him to be like this at all, dropping 30-point bombs, going head-to-head with Stephen Curry and Anthony Edwards, these NBA superstars playing up to their level. We just thought Quentin Grimes would be a decent 3-and-D wing for the Sixers that we can add to the young nucleus of Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain, but nah. He is showing so much potential as an offensive and defensive player, getting into his bag, man, like hitting threes, going to the rim, attacking defenders, finishing in transition, going into his mid-range arsenal, had plenty of mid-range shots in this game. He has been so good as a 3-level scorer for the Sixers, and what has impressed me the most and what has been the most entertaining about Quentin Grimes is just his confidence, man. Like he legitimately thinks that he is the first option on this team, and I'm all for it. He's taken a whole bunch of shots, just these isolations, creating off the dribble and doing what he can do to carry the Sixers through this game, not make fans fall asleep, but, not unlike what he did for the Warriors game, just kind of let off the brakes a little bit and remember that the Sixers are trying to get a top 6 pick. And speaking of tanking, this second quarter lineup that Nick Nurse had really confused me, but it did make me happy because it backfired so tremendously. We had Lonnie Walker, Ricky Council, Grimes, Drummond, and Kelly Oubre play in the same lineup, and you cannot think of a more chaotic lineup to put on the floor. It did not work whatsoever, and the Timberwolves kept going on these runs where the Sixers cannot produce any offense. Once again, they shot terribly from the three-point line, and other than Quentin Grimes, nobody really was able to step up and just counter the offensive firepower that the Timberwolves had, whether it was Naz Reid or Dante DiVincenzo. Oh yeah, we got Mike Conley out here hitting half-court buzzer beaters. This was fantastic, man. We had a tie game. Both teams, we're keeping up with each other, but we got Mike Conley, the battle-tested veteran, helping the 76ers out with this amazing half-court shot, and this was my favorite play of the game, man, because it tipped the momentum towards the Timberwolves, and ever since he hit that shot, it looked like a completely different half for Minnesota. They were moving the ball a lot more and just starting to drain their three-pointers. The Sixers did not even try to defend the three-point line at all, constantly ball watching. It was beautiful, man. The tank job the Sixers were doing was fantastic. We had Gershon Yabusele getting into the action, airballing a wide-open 3. Look, Yabu is a fantastic player, and I hope he comes back to the Sixers. I know there have been some rumors about him maybe going to another team this offseason, and look, if I was an NBA role player that was really good and I'm looking to win a championship, I think Philadelphia is the last place I want to be. Just being 100% realistic because of how much of a dumpster fire the 76ers are and how stupid they are as an organization. But yeah, I want Yabo to come back, but he has airballed a lot of threes this year, more so than any Sixer I have seen this entire season. None the less, not only was it Gershon Yabusele airballing threes, but we also had Paul George putting up another stinker of a game. I don't know why Paul George is still even playing. He's got to be shut down for the rest of the season, just like Tyrese Maxey. Did have 7 rebounds and 6 assists, but we're not paying him $212 million to score 7 points in an NBA game. That is completely embarrassing from Paul George. But here's the thing. If he's injured or not, all right, I understand that, but like, why are you putting him on the court? Well, why do the Sixers coaching staff still think this is going to work? I'm no professional basketball coach or anything, but we've seen that with Tyrese Maxey. We've seen that with Joel Embiid. It took the Sixers so long for them to realize that when you play injured players on the court, that they're not going to get better. And Paul George has been just flat out embarrassing this entire season, and by putting him out here constantly thinking that he's going to get any better when there's clearly something wrong with him, or maybe he's just washed. Like, I have no idea what the Sixers are trying to communicate with the fans about these injuries. They are so stupid and so vague when it comes to reporting injuries. It's insane. But yeah, Paul George is officially an inferior basketball player to Quentin Grimes. If we think about it, Quentin Grimes does literally everything that we wanted Paul George to do, and that is be a competent third option that can take over games and hit catch and shoot threes, and that is what he has been doing. 30 points from Quentin Grimes, once again carrying the Sixers, but I liked that this time around he did not go full throttle in the fourth quarter and carry them to victory. I also like that Nick Nurse finally played Jared Butler in this game. My guy, I've been complaining about Jared Butler not getting playing time from Nick Nurse. It made no sense because Daryl Morey spent draft capital to get him. In the minutes that he was getting for the Sixers, he was playing well, giving some crisp passes in this game. A nice one behind the back to Kelly Oubre in transition. Kelly was able to slam it home for 2. And the one field goal that Andre Drummond made was off a Jared Butler assist under the rim. So Jared Butler is not going to be some top-tier NBA role player. Maybe. I mean, Sixers aren't really that good at developing players, so probably not. But he is still a decent ball handler that has promise to be a good backup point guard during the Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain era, and I think that's important to have. You need someone who can take that ball pressure off Maxey or McCain and make some smart decisions, handle the ball well, and that is what Jared Butler has shown to do, and also provide some decent scoring too. He had some good plays off the dribble, creating for himself. Not saying he has to be, a Jordan Clarkson type, but just, be a decent distributor on the offensive end, make smart plays, make your teammates better. That is all we can really ask out of a backup point guard in Jared Butler. And I think he could really, accomplish that role with the Sixers in the future. I hope he sticks around because I like seeing guys who aren't 85 years old and decrepit. I like seeing young players actually be able to move on the court. I'm done with the Sixers experimenting and insisting that having rosters full of old dudes is going to work anymore. It's time to start embracing the youth. If we keep losing, we keep losing. We don't want to win for the rest of the season, and we'll see how it turns out in the Maxey McCain era, but you can't make the same mistakes that you did with Embiid. You need to start building your roster from a new perspective, one that prioritizes youth and athleticism. That is at least what I want to see. Let me know what you think down below about the Sixers and what their approach should be with roster construction with Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain in the future. And what else is there to talk about? Oh yeah, so Andre Drummond, he went 1 for 5 in this game, scored 4 points, and reverted back to the Andre Drummond we all know and love, who is completely washed and can't do anything anymore and is a liability on the defensive end of the floor. Andre Drummond has been recovering from a toe injury, so he has been playing better as of late. That is probably why he's been playing better. since he recovered from that toe injury, but still he is getting cooked on defense on every single possession, and he has at least embraced this role as the Sixers tank commander. And he was so bad to start this game that Nick Nurse put Adem Bona in the game. That is right, Adem Bona was getting some run to start the game, and Bona was, decent, nothing mind-blowing, but that I do like seeing these young players get some playing time and see, what they can do for the Sixers in the future. It's always fun to think about that since the team is tanking now, and it doesn't matter if they win or not. It also doesn't matter how bad the refs are. There's this one play in particular where Paul George got the ball and Jaden McDaniels was giving him a bear hug, didn't even try and go for the ball, was fouling him the entire time for the duration of like 10 seconds. And the NBA ref thought that it was a jump ball, which is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it's cool that since the Sixers are tanking, we don't have to care about how bad the refs are because we don't want the Sixers to win at all. But still, that is... It's just, I don't know when the NBA is going to fix their officiating issue. That is just so silly, and there's other stuff going on around the league too. I think Ty Jerome was complaining about how bad a ref was in one game. Yeah, the NBA cares more about the All-Star game and having a bunch of celebrities show up just to shove entertainment in the fans' face, think the fans are stupid, and try it and, make it as artificial as possible, but not fix core issues with the game, such as officiating, and it's ridiculous, but I'm just rambling here more about the Sixers. We got some great news when it comes to the Sixers tank because the Toronto Raptors had another excellent win against the Orlando Magic, winning 114-113. A great win for Toronto and a great win for the 76ers because they now inch closer to them in the Tankathon leaderboard. I am loving how the Raptors have been playing recently, going more towards a winning direction, and we need that because we need the Sixers to take their spot at number 5 as the absolute best scenario for them and their tank to get that top 6 pick back. I don't see them being able to surpass the Pelicans or the Jazz, the Hornets, or the Wizards. Those teams just suck way too much, and especially the Pelicans, man, that sucks. Like, they got so many horrible injuries. They're like the 76ers of the Western Conference, but hey, they are getting another lottery pick too, have a chance to get Cooper Flagg, so it's not like it's so terrible of a situation. At least they're going to be able to get their pick no matter what. Even if it's not a good lottery one, they're still going to get a pick because the Sixers need a pick in the top 6 to be able to keep it. And if they get one outside the top 6, it goes back to the OKC Thunder, and I don't know what I'm going to do if that happens. We need the Sixers to get that pick, bro. Like, for all the suffering Sixers fans have done this entire season, we deserve a decent lottery pick. Please, Adam Silver, make it happen. Send Cooper Flagg to Philadelphia. Imagine the ratings. But nonetheless, the Sixers do have a chance to out-tank the Toronto Raptors, steal their position because the Raptors have some pretty easy games coming up. They're playing the Wizards twice, have a matchup against the Utah Jazz, and one against your Philadelphia 76ers. So that is going to be the tank battle of the ages. I can't wait to tune into that one. I will be locked in to that matchup in particular because we need the Sixers to lose that game, help the Raptors win a little bit more, and hope that the Brooklyn Nets too, because they're a thorn in the Sixers side. They're also trying to tank this season and are head to head with the Sixers in the ranking, both 21 and 39. So yeah, the Sixers and the Nets are going to be competing in a heated competition for, some decent lottery odds, and I hope that the Nets finally do some more winning and that the Sixers can keep losing these games. That's pretty much all I got. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you're new around here. I appreciate all the support, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.